Alright, so welcome back, fellow brother man. Welcome to another video. Today's is going to be on negative self-talk. It's that little voice that you hear up in your head every time something good comes around. And you decide to talk yourself out of it? That would be that little voice of negative self-talk. So quick definition on negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is an inner dialogue you have with yourself that may be limiting your ability to believe in yourself and your own abilities and to reach your potential. It is any thought that diminishes your ability to make positive change in your life or your confidence in yourself to do so. So I want to touch on how does this affect you on the daily as a human. So, you're going to be having all these opportunities in life where, every single decision you make, you actually think about it consciously, do I want to do it or not? Especially when a good, positive opportunity comes around that you haven't done before, you're a little nervous about. You're going to have this little voice in your head that is either going to talk you out of it, which I notice so many people do, and personally myself, I've had to overcome this to basically get to where I want to be in today. And so it can be something that can control every single opportunity that comes to you in your life. And are you choosing to let it negatively self-talk you? So you're basically going to say to yourself, I've never done this before. You're going to start having all these excuses that, oh, it's a bad time. Oh, maybe they don't want to talk to me. Or you're going to say, oh, this is my opportunity. I've been waiting for this opportunity, and I'm going to go do exactly what I want to do. There's two different sides to the spectrum. And it's either your negative self-talk and you're letting that run your life, or you're the one in control. You're in the driver's seat driving down the road, making every single decision for yourself. So one thing I want to touch on is we gotta learn how to recognize negative self-talk. That's the first key to being able to conquer it. You have to be able to recognize what it is. And so the first step would be to accept it. Every single person on this earth experiences negative self-talk. It's something that, for humans, it's what keeps us safe, because our brains and our bodies fear the unknown. And so anytime a new opportunity comes to you, you're going to experience some form of negative self-talk, unless you are fully confident in what you're doing, and that wouldn't be a new opportunity for you, because, if you're fully confident in what you're doing, you should be doing something else that, you're not fully confident in just yet. So you got to accept the fact. That's step number one. Then you have to learn to actually realize when you're experiencing negative self-talk. And it's not yourself. It's negative self-talk because it's negative and that you're talking to yourself. That doesn't make it your personality. And so you have to learn to actually capture in the moment. Say, there's an attractive individual walking by, or and you want to go talk to them, and you're going to start making excuses to yourself. Oh, it's a bad time. Oh, they look busy. They must not want to talk to me. Or say you have a boss that you've been meaning to stop them and say something to them that's actually really important to you, but you're kind of scared to say it because it would mean you're kind of sticking up for yourself. And you're going to say to yourself, you're going to start making these excuses. You're going to just start listing off these excuses, just like I was saying. And those don't lead to anywhere you actually want to be. Where you want to be is when you don't make that excuse to yourself. You say, I'm going to go get that. And so recognizing and acknowledging this negative self-talk that you're going to be experiencing on the daily is step number one. Because then once you recognize it, you can actually work to overcome the burden of negative self-talk. And this can be something that can be a struggle, but it's easy. You got to learn to look right at that moment when it's occurring and just realize that, okay, I'm experiencing negative self-talk. It's typically within that first 5 to 10 seconds of the opportunity presenting itself, you're going to start experiencing some form of negative self-talk. So some tips and tricks on how to overcome negative self-talk. Step number 1, recognition. We just spoke about that. And then now that you recognize this opportunity, or it's not an opportunity, but you recognize this internal negative self-talk that you're experiencing, you have to disassociate yourself with that being, because it's truly not the personality that you want to be, that desire to go forward. It's something that holds you back because of the unknown. And so disassociating yourself with that negative self-talk, one of the best ways to do so is to actually give that person, give that internal mindset a name. So you can call it Adolf. You know, you call it Stalin. You call it Jake from State Farm for all I care. Hell, even Karen. You could call it who the fuck likes Karen? You know? So in your mind, as soon as this negative self-talk starts occurring, you're gonna go, say I always use this, say there's a pretty girl that you want to go talk to, and you're talking yourself out of it because, you know, I'm not funny, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter what you're saying. You say, but you gotta recognize, as soon as you start talking yourself out of the situation, you gotta go, you know, Karen, you're not in the driver's seat. Jake's in the driver's seat, and I want to go talk to that person. And so, by disassociating yourself and giving that other personality a name in your life, it helps to just separate yourself from the actual interaction of negative self-talk in your mind. So you can literally sit there as soon as the opportunity presents itself and you start recognizing negative self-talk, take a step back. Don't think about the situation. Just separate your mind from that negative self-talk and literally say in your own mind, you can say it out loud for all I give a fuck. That'd probably help more because it makes it real if you say it out loud. And you say, you know, Jake's in the driver's seat. That's what it's all about, separating yourself from that interaction. And this will allow you to take better control and make your own decisions in the moment. That's where life exists, is in the very moment that everything's occurring. So separation is key. It's a huge key. So moving forward, now that you're able to recognize it, you're able to disassociate yourself with negative self-talk, now you have to move forward from that. And what do you think that is? That's seizing the opportunity. You have to take action on the opportunity. Because if, you know, you dissociate yourself with the negative self-talk and then you still just, you know, you can't take that step forward, it's because you don't have past successes of it succeeding. You know, human interaction really comes down to us succeeding in the past. It's what makes us have confidence in the future or the present because, you know, it worked for me last week going up and saying this certain hello or how you doing, whatever the opportunity that you're talking, negative self-talk. Say even talking to yourself going to the gym. We could use that. You know, that's a lot of things that people struggle with is, you know, physical activity. So when you're sitting at home and, you know, you have the idea, oh, I want to go to the gym. Within that first 5 seconds of you thinking, I want to go to the gym, go put athletic shorts on. Go put a workout shirt on. Go put your shoes on. If you go get your athletic shoes on within the first 5 seconds of you saying, I want to go to the gym, but then it's such a simple action of going and putting on those shoes. And once you already have the shoes on, you have the momentum. You're not going to go sit back down and go lay back in bed and turn another Netflix show on because why would you do that? You already got the momentum going forward. Once you have the shoes on, keep going. So you gotta seize the opportunity. And that's something that a lot of people will get stuck on because it does take a little bit of practice, but be relentless with your trials. Continue, trial, error, trial, error. You're not gonna be perfect right off the bat. No one's perfect. And so you just have to be able to step out of your comfort zone and go get the opportunity. So you disassociate yourself with the negative self-talk. Now you're taking steps towards actually seizing the opportunities. And, you know, big or small success is success. And hey, shooters gotta shoot. If you're not gonna shoot, you're never gonna get it. So there's no point in, worrying about if you miss it. Well, bud, you never shot it. So you gotta take shots. And then personally, I have a couple books that I recommend to you. I went through a huge transition in my life as well, where I went from such a small town, one stoplight town growing up, and then going to a big city for university down in Cincinnati, and I struggled with it myself. You know, I never was really good at meeting new people. I was good at talking to my friends and whatnot, and people that I've known my whole life, but living in such a small town, you don't have practice meeting those new people, and that's something I personally struggled with. So the number one book I read to actually model this disassociation of negative self-talk would be Fearless Social Confidence by Patrick King. And then the next book would be The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. That's kind of what I was talking about. As soon as you have the idea to go to the gym, what do you go do? Within the first 5 seconds of you thinking of this and having that idea, go put your fucking shoes on. And then the next one, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. If you're gonna do and succeed, and you're gonna have people that, regardless of how much you try and please them, you know, they're not gonna like you. So don't get caught up on that. You gotta just basically not give a fuck, honestly. You say you're a little weird, fuck them, dude. As long as you know in your core that you're a good dude, hey, keep going, you know? Don't get hung up on anyone's feelings, because, hey, most people suck and they just wanna, you know, bring someone down because maybe they're not going to the gym, you know? Have your own fucks given, and, you know, fuck everybody else. And then the last thing, I always recommend this book to anyone I can ever recommend a book to, is What Everybody Is Saying. It was written by an FBI agent that did, terrorist interrogation. So he was able to master the art of reading people. And this is something that, you know, it has nothing really to do with, you know, mastering negative self-talk, but what it does do is that once you have, you know, the social interaction down, or the opportunity down, you can use body language to help interpret what you're doing in your interaction. So say someone doesn't want to actually talk to you, you can actually see it in their body language, and it's not because you're not, you know, being an enjoyable person to talk to, or, you know, whatever. It's because, you know, they're busy. You know, say they're showing busy body language and they're late, and they're trying to be nice to you, but you know, you can pick up on stuff that, like, girls will touch their hair when they're nervous. There's a bunch of different tells. Guys, you know, we'll touch the back of our necks. We'll cross our feet. There's tons of stuff that people know. They put your hands together. A bunch of stuff that, you know, people know, but when you read that book, it really establishes it in your mind. So on that note, that's kind of what I wanted to say today. Just negative self-talk is something that I always see people letting run their lives, and I think that people need to stop, honestly, because I think that's what a midlife crisis comes down to, is that people realize they haven't been doing what they want to be doing their entire life, and it's not something that I want people to experience. I think people should be doing exactly what they want in life, because that's what I'm doing, and I think it really is. It feels fulfilling to be doing exactly what you want to be doing. So don't let negative self-talk control you. Do your own shit. Have the subtle art of not giving a fuck, and go get that fucking check. So on that note, fellow brother man, I appreciate you guys listening, especially if you made it to this point in the video. It means a lot, and stay tuned. We'll get some more stuff running up, baby. Have a good one.